promise in deepest snow from sis to oom. I promise to think about no one but you, to think about everything I know about you, to think about you at home and at school and on the way to school, to think about you all day long. And if I wake up at night, promise at night I feel you're so close I could touch you, but daren't. I feel you're looking at me when I lie here in the dark. I remember it all and I promise only to think about that at school tomorrow. There is no one else. I shall do so every day. Hello everyone, I'm Ishani Bakshi, and on this channel I travel the world via books, meaning I read one book from every country in the world, and today I'm taking a visit to Norway. The book I chose for Norway is The Ice Palace by, I hope I pronounced this correctly, Tarjei Vesaas, and translated by Elizabeth Rocan, and it follows a story between two 11-year-old girls who both live in this rural, snowy town. One of the girls, Sis, is very popular. She's a leader of her social ring, and she's been living here for quite a long time. The other girl is Un, who just moves here after her mother died to live with her aunt, and she's quite of a social outskirt. During recess, she just stays like at the outskirts of the playground and doesn't really interact with anyone. However, these both start having a budding relationship on borderlining on obsession or infatuation, and the story basically follows the repercussions of that. Overall, this was a very descriptive and lyrically written book, which is something that I think can attract many readers, but for me it was just the thing that made me like not enjoy the book, because I'm someone who just wants like simple, straightforward writing most of the time, and this book definitely did not deliver that. I know I'm in the minority when I say that, so I think a lot of people will enjoy that. It was just not for me. Secondly, I think I just felt it to be a little like unrealistic how strong the reactions the characters had, because I felt like the events, I'm trying to say in the least spoilery way possible, but the events leading up to the big thing what were kind of like insignificant or very small. Therefore, the reaction to the big thing seemed very blown out of proportion. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm basically trying to say I feel like all the characters were like very much overreacting, and it didn't make sense for them to feel as strongly as they did, as seen as in my excerpt that I attached at the start of the video. But editing Ishani here, so by overreacting, I'm not saying that the event that happened wasn't absolutely devastating. I just think that certain characters did not have enough of an emotional attachment to what was going on to have such strong reactions. Additionally, this sort of detachment from the book, because I couldn't really see where the character was coming from, and I couldn't really sympathize with any of the characters except the aunt. So I found the character just to be very rude and abrasive because of an event that, while devastating, didn't particularly affect them as much. I definitely think this magnified lens of emotions can definitely be helpful when trying to like push a theme or idea, which I think the author did try to do. And overall, it's definitely a very emotional read, and it's very lyrical, so those things attract you, and you also just love a very icy, snowy setting, or you just want like a winter read, and a very short read, that too. I think The Ice Palace is definitely the book for you. Overall, I don't have many thoughts on it. It was just okay. Therefore, I'll give it a nice 3 out of 5 stars, and if you enjoyed this review or have any thoughts, please leave a comment or a like, and if you want to hear more from me, subscribe and hit the notifications bell. I have reviewed many books from across the world, and last week I reviewed a book from France which was a collection of short stories by Guy de Maupassant. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Also, the week before that, I talked about the very popular Hawthorne Legacy, so if you're interested, also check that out. Anyways, I just want to bid adieu. Goodbye, and I hope you guys have a nice weekend.